get the recording started. Everybody can hear me. I can hear everybody else. Let me know if YouTube is working. New window. CIDER. Watch CIDER live. Yes. Better than watching CIDER dead. Alright. It says live. Watch CIDER live. Alright. I hear me. Why don't you go ahead and start, Shirley?
All right, well, let's officially start our meeting then for Wednesday, June 10th, 2026. And let's see, do you want to start with the news first and then go into Q&A and before you talk about WWDC, or what do you want to do?
Well, WWDC is pretty much all the news. Let me see if there was anything non-WWDC. Pretty much everyone is just talking about that.
All right, then just do you want to do Q&A? I mean, we're a small group, or do you want to just start talking about it and you can go into that later as people join?
Yeah, why don't we um, start with some Q&A.
Anybody got any?
Say it again.
Why is Steve Cook leaving Apple?
Tim Cook?
Tim Cook, I'm sorry.
So he can spend more time with his money. That's the usual thing.
I wondered if it was because he couldn't stand dealing with the politicians these days.
Well, that's going to be a problem. We got to see how Turnus is going to handle Trump.
Yeah.
I think his actual last day is September. I think you just said in the fall. August 31st is his last day at the company. So he's been CEO for 15 years. He's worked at Apple for, I think, close to 30. Tim Cook, let's see, started at Apple. So he started in 98. He was vice president of Compaq. Yeah, so he was at Apple for 28 years.
Versus 30.
And he's, he is, I think he's 65 now. Yeah, so he's 65. So it's, the joke is he's time to retire and spend time with his money. But they have been bringing out John Turnus at Apple events before. He's been the hardware guru, and Johnny Cerrugi is the chip guru. So that's how they kind of worked together. So now Turnus is going to be handling the higher level stuff, and they are changing the rest of the board. Let me see. So Tim's going to stay on as chairman of the board. So he's still going to be dealing with Apple. Let's see. Have they updated their? Yeah, they haven't updated their leadership board yet. So we'll see how the new guy works it. Because we've seen. Go ahead.
Oh, I just wanted to mention that they're getting that roaring noise again, and we have a bit of a process of elimination here. Oops.
I have a fan on. I'm going to mute myself.
No, we were just joined by somebody. Is there somebody named Lim?
I think that might be Kim as a typo.
I was just saying that we didn't have the whooshy sound and Kim wasn't here, so it's not her. But then I look at the screen
I'm
and there she
muted.
is. You did what?
She muted herself,
I'm muted.
but we
All
can
right.
hear the conversation in the background when you unmute. It's
Muted.
it's like that stupid microphone is so sensitive it picks up things you can't even hear yourself.
I
When
know it's
it's just
crazy.
supposed to be getting you.
Yeah, but it doesn't. And that's what's annoying when you want to have private conversations. But anyway, I'm going to mute again. Hi.
Hi.
Bye.
There was something about voice isolation somewhere.
See, that just did the whooshing sound, and she was muted.
Yep, I heard it. There it is again, and Shirley's microphone lit up.
Okay, then I'm going to mute me.
And her iPad doesn't have a fan, so it's not that getting picked up. And the heat better not be on. Well, last night she turned the air conditioning on in the bedroom, even though I had she opened the windows in the bedroom, even though I had the air conditioning on.
That's because there was a nice cool breeze coming in right by me, and I opened the window for
Yeah,
myself.
but
So,
turn the air conditioner off.
so
Of course, it's on the wrong side of the room now. We got to move it over to my side.
In college, I had a professor, and in the summer, he slept with the air conditioner on and an electric blanket.
Yeah.
And I thought he was crazy, and there was actually supporting evidence for that in other areas. But now I'm 77, and I'm sleeping with the air conditioner on and a pile of covers on too. So, yep, don't laugh too hard at people because you might turn into one.
Yeah.
There are reasons for things that you just don't know until you let a person explain them and actually listen. You know, there are lots of things here. It's like there's a reason I'm doing that. So, how much noise do you hear now from me?
It's more of a hissing static that I hear.
I'm not even hearing that. Definitely not hearing the whooshing noise.
Yeah,
Now I'm
Now,
hearing it.
now the static got louder.
And Dave just joined us again, but his mic is off. So I don't know.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
mean, my AC unit is like 10 feet away and I don't hear it. I mean, it might, if it's crazy, get picked up, but I mean, the loudest thing I hear is the nurses giving their report out in the hallway. So that, and you don't hear that, and that's the loudest thing I hear. But what I hear may be different from what you hear through the mic.
Yeah, um, I may come to the point where I simply uh, shut off my volume and use the closed captioning. I don't know.
Well, I'll mute again so you can keep trying to figure out if you haven't done everybody yet.
I can mute myself if anybody wants that.
Well, so far, why don't you leave yourself on and see if we all hear it at all.
All right.
There was one a news item from Apple that hit before WWDC is the Friday night baseball league broadcast has put out their schedules. So if you're interested in baseball, you can watch baseball on Apple TV, and I believe, yeah, you have to be an Apple TV subscriber to see that. I think soccer you can get free, but baseball you have to pay, which is interesting. Although,
When you say soccer is free, would would that include the whole FIFA hoopla?
Ah, that's a well. See, yeah, good point. So it's MLS soccer that Apple covers. No, and that is now also with a subscription. I thought I read somewhere that it's not anymore. But World Cup is different. In fact, they're having a lot of problems. Um, Trump is has blocked athletes from coming in, or told ICE to block athletes from coming in, denying visas to other athletes. They sent Africa's best referee back to Senegal. It all seems to be the darker skinned countries are getting turned away from the World
Yeah,
Cup, and on the other side, um, the visitors aren't coming either because they're already afraid, and so one of the side effects is business. Cities make a ton of money from all the hotel and restaurant and everything coming in for their World Cup. Um, but so many cities are reporting down attendance and cancellations on hotel rooms.
it occurs to me that if Trump and his buddies were to place some strategic bets on certain teams
Yeah,
and then block other players from teams players the best ones from coming into the country, they could do well.
yeah,
How do you know that isn't already happening?
yep.
I do not know.
What is that betting website where you can bet on anything?
Yeah,
Last beat?
And his son, no, son-in-law owns a huge chunk of it. Um,
right. There are
there's
two of them. One's legal in this country, the other's not.
Yep,
The one that's legal here, I think it starts with a P, and I can't remember the name of it.
Polymarket. There it is. Yep.
Okay, good work.
There was a soldier got busted after putting, I think, several $100,000 down on invading Iraq, and then he invaded Iraq and tried to cash in.
Yep,
Isn't that like insider trading?
Yeah,
exactly.
all of Congress is doing it.
I mean, that should be illegal.
It is. They don't care. No one's stopping them.
Yeah, who's gonna stop them? Trump?
Well, Congress won't stop themselves. But then that one congressman came out and said, "How are we supposed to live on $175,000 a year? It's just impossible. So we have to sell books and we have to buy stocks and we have to do all this stuff." Of course, most Congress people have to have two houses, one in their district and then one in D.C. But still,
They should furnish them a nice little apartment and a nice moderate little building. They should all
yeah,
have to live there together.
Well, there's a place in D.C. where about half a dozen or more congressmen all share the same, you know, living space.
yeah,
It's a military base. There's a military base a couple of miles. Listen, I'm getting big time roar now, and it is in sync with Tim's big dot.
yeah.
I have a big dot.
Well, because you're not
Is it on
showing
my
your face.
forehead?
Because no, you don't have any forehead visible, only the big dot.
Because your camera's not on, it's just showing an L.
So what are you hearing?
Massive noise and static.
And it's
Huh,
not nurses giving reports. It's not people talking.
okay. So the only other thing I hear is the motor on this bed. This air bed like has a motor that makes air go through it. That's the only
Yeah.
other thing. But it's not loud. But I don't know what it does to the thing. So
I
anyway,
don't think I don't think it's any of that stuff. I think we got something somewhere in the system that generates this noise. and we don't know what it is. And by we, I mean Steve, because we don't know doodly. But it's
I don't
only
know.
on Kim coming in now, right now. But it varies.
Yeah, interesting.
Kim, just for grins, mute yourself and see what happens.
That
Yeah,
stopped.
it went away.
Okay, it went away, which means either to my ignorant mind, it means either it's something generated at Kim's end in this case, or it's something having to do with the way her signal comes into Google Meet. You know what I'm trying to say?
She's the only one on an iPhone. I wonder if that matters. Let
But
me.
I'm not yet persuaded that it's always been her.
Now, who else did you hear it from before?
Well, that's the problem. I haven't kept careful track of it.
Did you say Shirley's iPad did it?
A
Well,
different
it used
noise.
to come from Shirley's input
Uh,
in previous meetings. Yes, it has. Now, see, that's what I'm saying is I don't understand.
and is anyone else on a phone or an iPad?
No, I don't think. I think Steve just said you're the only one who's on a phone.
I was on my phone earlier,
And
but not anymore.
did it make noise then?
In all probability, if it is coming from somebody's device, they may not be hearing it themselves.
Did you hear it earlier on Carol's iPhone?
Carol's, is that what you said?
She said she was on her iPhone earlier.
Yes, right. No, I do not recall hearing it from her this evening, but it's like
And did you hear it on anyone's iPad?
that's what Steve's trying to figure out, I think.
I'm trying to join on my iPad, but interesting. It's not letting me. There we are. Code. Paste. Enter a meet code. I'm trying to enter a meet code.
Yeah, it does weird things. Then you have to like back up and come back. It took me a while to get on tonight.
All right. Google. I thought I had that window open. I guess not. Here we go. Come on. Oh, so there it is. So it's still going and Kim's not muted.
And it's still on?
Yeah.
Anyone else on a phone right now?
I believe the answer is no.
Anyone else on an iPad?
Surely it's on an iPad. Sound does not appear to be coming from Shirley at this time.
Here, let me mute and see if you hear it.
No, we do not. Right now.
And
Now we do again.
what about earphones or micro things that go in your ear instead? Is anyone on those versus not on those?
All right. I just
Well,
joined on my phone.
the other thing about that, Kim, is that it is not sounding like an echo of someone speaking, having it come through it goes back to their device, and then we hear it again. Does that make sense?
Sounds like a vacuum cleaner to me.
Yeah, motor noise of some sort.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
but
I have one
yeah,
on my head. That's why I wash my hair.
I disagree that I'm not convinced it's a motor noise.
I'm wearing headphones.
Oh shoot, this is lightning. I need lightning to headphone. I got USB to headphone.
See,
I have headphones on too, so.
I have heard it in the past when you pointed it out, but I don't hear it all the time.
Right. I don't either. We don't know what the hell's going on.
But
It might have something to do with the ACL
Though,
or ALC, sorry, automatic level control. Whereas when she's not talking at all, then
Yeah,
the background noise comes in.
it ramps up the gain so it can hear you talking. But if you're not talking, all you get is more background noise.
Yep.
interesting.
All right, that can go in there. All right. I am going to mute my computer and unmute my phone. So now I'm on my phone. And no noise yet.
Nope. No noise. I'm wondering if she has a air conditioner going on in the background or something.
Yeah, and it's the gain trying to ramp up.
except that I don't believe we have always heard it only from Kim. I believe I know we heard it a lot when Shirley was talking from her kitchen or whatever, in previous meetings. Also, it looks like Kim has disappeared. Now she's back.
Yeah, it looked like Steve replaced her. It was really weird.
I'm back. I was trying to put on earphones to see if
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
that see if that took my noise away. So, but all I have is like wired things, and I hate it. I need
What do
wired.
you have? Ear pods? Do you have wired ear pods or what, Kim? And she's gone again.
She's disappeared.
Now I'm getting a very low level roar, more like the sea at the beach kind of thing, but not that obnoxious, really louder noise.
All right, well, let's move on. Let me mute myself here, which is interesting because I hear myself like half a second behind me. Oop.
Okay, I'm here. Do you hear noise in the background now?
No.
Yes.
Yes, no.
So you do still hear it even though I'm on headphones.
Yeah, but I don't think it's the same.
Well, is it just headphones or is there a mic included with the headphones?
I'm on the little, what do you call them, earphones that go in your ear and plug into the phone, and has the little controller on the wire, on the right side.
Yeah,
And
it's supposed to
usually
have a
that-
mic.
But does it also have a mic?
Well, I apologize for interrupting, Rick. Does usually that little controller thing also contain a mic, right?
Yeah, usually the mic is within that control board. The way to tell is if you can see a small little hole in it.
Or if the conductor is 4 sections, there's a mic. If there's 3 sections, it's only audio.
The plug.
The plug, yeah. So where's my arrow? So it's left, right, ground on a 3 conductor.
Or the other way around.
Yeah.
It's got a left to go up and a right to go down, and a middle to probably end it. What'll the middle do? Probably end it.
That's probably play pause, yeah.
This one has a mic on it. See, it's got the 4 sections.
Yep, just like mine does.
Mine has 3 sections.
So
Well, then
So
you
there's
don't have the
there's
mic.
there's 3 stripes and 4 sections. Yeah. So that doesn't have a mic, so it's still using the ambient mic.
So that explains why the noise hasn't gone away. He's still using the phone microphone.
And here everybody says, get a microphone, and I do, and it still doesn't work.
Well, you need a headset that has a mic and speakers. Because the problem is the ambient microphone. So you need a
Yeah.
you need a microphone directly in front of your mouth, so it can only pick up the things in front of you.
Well, my friend found these in my purse and brought them to me, so I don't have
That's
money
good.
to go buy some. I I can't go buy any right now, so
That's okay.
I don't know. But I would love to have serious, like, just wireless. That way I could just leave them in my ears, put them in a little container, not worry about losing them. I've lost 2 already, wired ones in the hospital when I've been in the hospital before.
All right, so the solution for this evening is just mute yourself whenever you're not talking.
Yeah, that's all you can do. That can be a pain in the ass, though, if you're moving and you're in extreme pain.
All
Anyway,
right. So
so
let me do this.
get something with a 4 thingy microphone, or mute myself.
Yeah, a headset with a microphone, or even just a microphone. Although that's less common on a phone, more common on a computer.
Now, in other weird problems, I'm finding that Google won't let me use backgrounds tonight, even though I'm in Google Chrome.
Yeah, I can't use any avatars. I have fun with my avatars on Zoom.
It's some kind of a message about WebGL.
Which is the web graphics language.
Yeah. Is anyone else having the same problem?
Not on Chrome.
I just turned the background on. Have you updated Chrome lately?
No, that's a
What are
good
they at?
point.
148.07778.179. Well, great.
That's an awful lot of
Yeah.
numbers.
Oh, and there's an update waiting for me. I will say no, don't do that now.
Let's see. I'm in 148.0.7778.217. Is that old?
That's ahead of mine, 217. I'm at 179. Interesting.
I'm at 148.0.7778.178.
How do you know what you're at?
Check the About window on a computer.
Oh, not on a computer. Oh God,
Alright.
I gotta charge this thing.
Okay. Alrighty, so let's move on. Let's go to... Well, any other questions, I guess we should say. Any other questions we can solve?
I actually have a question about, I can't think of what it's called. It's the thing that you can do so that you don't get interrupted.
Do not disturb.
Do not disturb, yes. I
They,
tried to find it on my phone and couldn't figure out where to turn it on.
they've renamed it Focus.
Oh.
And the easiest way to turn it on is swipe down from the upper right to get to Control Center.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's a button called Focus. That's a half moon.
Yeah, okay, so if I click on that. Oh,
Then you have different kind of focuses.
there it is.
The one I really like under Do Not Disturb, so you hit the three dots under Do Not Disturb. And there's a, for 1 hour until tomorrow morning, or until I leave this location, which is what I like. So I'll always mute my stuff at like the movie theater, and then I'll forget to unmute it. And Monday morning comes, and Jackie can't get a hold of me, and then call. She's mad because I don't answer her. So mute until I leave this location works out pretty good.
I like that. Because a lot of times that's what I want it for, is like just being in an event somewhere.
Yeah. Yeah, there is an option to mute or to do not disturb until the end of the event. But if the event runs long, you don't want your phone going off immediately. So you're scheduled for 9, and so at 9:01 your phone starts going off, and you're still in the meeting.
Great. Thank you.
Yep.
It was right there.
Yeah, I never know what the other focus modes. What's the difference between home and work? I want some people to come through, but other people not. Well, that's the regular do not disturb. If your VIPs call you, it gets through anyway. If somebody calls you twice, you get a notification that someone called you twice. Maybe it is important while you're on do not disturb. Alrighty.
Or they're just stalking you.
Yeah. I read a story about a guy in a multiplayer game, online game called tech support, because none of his friends could hear him talking, and so the tech person, using their God privilege, went into the game and saw him standing around all the friends, and the friends are chatting to themselves, "Oh God, there he is again. Just ignore him. Maybe he'll go away. Why does he keep doing this?" So then they start an attack, and the guy runs in and says, "Oh, wait for me. I need, you can help me." And he starts hacking and slashing with no um, no skill or no plan, and then starts yelling at his friends, "Heal me," and then dies because they're all just trying to ignore him, and he thinks they can't hear him. No, they're just ignoring you. All right, another question?
This is a YouTube question. And sometimes in a YouTube video, I go into settings and change the speed. And then I find out that in other videos I watch, the speed change remains instead of going back to 1. Now, what I'm not keeping track of, and I'll tell you this, I have multiple tabs open. I have a whole screen. In Chrome on my MacBook, I have 9 windows, and each of them has easily 24 tabs.
Yeah.
So the computer is doing surprisingly well considering that burden. But I'm wondering whether if I watch a video in one of those tabs, and then if this is happening because I have gone back and watched another video in that tab, and the speed change has persisted in that tab, and then I go to a different tab and it doesn't happen. And what do you think right off the top of your head?
I would have thought that each tab would have its own separate settings.
That makes sense.
And so you could be 2x in one tab and half x in the other tab.
I'll look at that possibility more systematically. Thank you.
So it would be nice if Chrome, especially in Chrome, unified those speeds. But I can see it both ways. I can see wanting to have one video playing faster and one video playing slower. So I listen to podcasts mostly on 1.5 because I'm so far behind. I'm trying to catch up. But then when I listened to sound bites from last week, because I wasn't on, I had to cut it down to 1.2 because Nick talks so fast already that listening to him at 1.5 was hard. So then after a while, then you increase it to 1.75, and then you can increase to 2, and your brain kind of learns how to do it. So I'm 3 months behind, so I'll never catch up. And I even did cut down on the number of podcasts I listened to. The problem is I used to have a 45-minute commute. Now I have a 10-minute commute. Alrighty, any other questions?
I have a trivial question here. How do I change from the mirror image? I see myself as a mirror image, and I want to see it the other way around.
That might be in settings somewhere. So you're seeing how we see you.
I guess.
Yeah. So if you
But
rate,
I see
if you
the lettering on my test is backwards,
and we see it forwards.
just like you see it forward.
Yeah.
But
So that's when you raise your left hand on the screen, you don't see your right hand going up.
yeah, that's
Yeah.
I'm lifting my left hand, but it looks to me like it's my right hand.
Yep.
It's a mirror image.
Yeah. So you're seeing what the other person sees. Let me see. Google
Now you
Meet.
see the lettering properly, right?
Yes.
USA.
Yep.
So you're not seeing a mirror image. You're seeing like a live image.
Yep.
But I'm seeing a mirror image.
So there's nothing built into Meet, but there are third-party Google extensions that will mirror the video, so then it will look right to you, and it will look wrong to us.
In Zoom, I flip them all the time, but I just don't see it there. It's not a big deal.
I wonder if there's something in the Mac video setup. No. Did you have a question, Kim? You're unmuted again. No, I don't see anything in Chrome setup either. Yeah, but if you go to the Google Play Store, there's probably the Chrome Store. There's probably well, it says there are video mirror extensions. So then you would see yourself right, and we would see it mirrored. Yeah, a lot of people in the Google community are asking about that. Yeah, a couple of people pointing to an extension called Video Mirror. Got it. So if I add to Chrome, is it going to work? Oops.
Well, all y'all are seeing yourselves as a mirror image, right?
Yeah.
Same as I am.
Let's see if I
Mirror.
hold up something with text. Yeah, it's backwards to me, but you see it forwards.
Yeah.
Yep. Let's see, Video Mirror. So, does that say... No, that's picture in picture. Video Mirror is on. Yeah, so now I see it right, because the mirroring is off. But now you see it backwards, right?
No.
No, I see it.
We see it
Like
correctly.
Oh, it still does it right. Okay, good.
What change did you make?
I installed an extension called Video Mirror.
Okay.
Okay.
Interesting. And it worked without restarting Chrome.
The extension would
Let me
be
post that.
viable on a Mac.
Yeah, I'm on a Mac now.
Safari.
No, this is the Chrome extension. There may be a different extension for Safari. Let's see, Safari mirror video. No. Let's go to extensions list and say, oh, the extensions are in the App Store, not in Safari. Okay. Getting started with extensions. Is there a way to search extensions? One for Chrome. Video casting. Nope. Here's one called Mirror Flip. Mirrors any website. Free. Free or one-time purchase. That doesn't make any sense. There we go. Let me do search. Video mirror. And that's just telling this. So part of the problem is that mirroring also means sending your video to another device, like a TV.
Right.
Maybe that's why that extension was called Video Flip. Flip and rotate any video. 99 cents.
Isn't there like a reverse too? There's like different names. I don't know if they all do the same thing.
Yeah, usually in the video editor.
Because one, I don't know if this is exactly the same. Like when you just turn your screen so other people can see what you're seeing versus turning it so you're reversing it. If if I want to take a picture of myself and I flip the screen around, is different from if I want to show people what I'm seeing. Maybe I'm not sure I'm saying it right, but there's like different ways of doing things. Maybe not. Maybe some different names.
Yeah.
I feel like there's different things.
Yep. And a lot of them it is for video editing. So you've shot a video and need to mirror it or rotate it. But nothing.
It shows up a lot where somebody's playing guitar and it looks like they're playing left-handed.
Yep.
Which is very rare. Paul McCartney plays it that way, and with Cotton, but most people aren't left-handed.
You can probably do it with a video overlay like Snap or what's the other? There's 2, 3 of them. Eyes. So it sends your video into another program where you can make those adjustments before it sends it into the final program.
While we have a moment here, I regret having to do this, and I apologize. I've had a stressful few days, including, just after getting back from the road trip, I had a medical event, which now appears to be resolved, but it has left me a little bit subpar. So the next time the blast of sound gets going, I am just going to quietly leave the meeting, and I will attempt to watch it on YouTube at a later time. I am aware that the noise will be on YouTube also, but hopefully I will be better rested by then. Again, I apologize.
No problem. Hope you feel better.
Yeah. Easier for me to say, but you're stuck.
Take care, Charlie.
Yeah.
Yeah, be well.
Let's see, there's something called presenter overlay that's built into the OS. But I don't see it. Oh, that's so you can present yourself in front of another screen, so that's not what we want either.
Well, because you don't have to flip it to watch like someone else. You can flip it to watch yourself. If you want to watch what you're playing and you want to see yourself, you're fingering on a guitar, where it's set up or whatever, you can flip it so you can watch yourself playing. Or for photography also, so you can take pictures of stuff behind you or that you can't get going forward.
Well, for me, I raised the issue, and it's not a big deal. I was just, playing around with the controls, and I didn't see that control, so I asked the question. If it becomes important, I'll figure it out.
Yeah. So we know one way that works in Chrome. Maybe we'll find a way that works in Safari too.
I saw on Facebook something I'd never seen before, but it was really a promotion for Safari, comparing it to Chrome, and it had all these, it was obviously pushing the idea that Safari is superior, and it was a regular Facebook video and commercial. And I don't know if that was sponsored by Apple, or I suppose it must be.
Yeah, it may have been. A lot of people don't like Chrome because Google is behind it, and Google advertising sucks all your private data.
Yeah, that's one thing I don't like about it.
Well, I've never subscribed to them, but like on Facebook, they keep changing little things. And one of the things that I tried to share something, and it said, gave me a thing before I could share it. I had to open up Facebook on my mobile device, and I'm thinking, what mobile device? I never used Facebook on a mobile device other than my computer, and it's telling me to open it up on the mobile device, which I don't have. I mean, I do have, but I never set it up for it.
Yeah, it wants to get on your phone so it can track you around the world. Your your computer just lives at your house, but your phone goes everywhere with you.
Yeah. Well, I know I'm connected with Google because I've got Prime Video, and I think I get the free deliveries from them. I don't know. But,
Well, that's Amazon.
Amazon. Amazon Prime. Okay, that's
Yep.
what I was thinking. Just so many things that I get confused these days.
And they keep adding more and more and more.
Yeah.
Let's do. I like the beach. All right. Any other questions?
Yes,
Oops.
I have a question.
Go ahead.
How do you find the place where you make payments?
Every payment site has its own app or its own website. Which payment are you trying to make?
Well, like on Apple, they have a place where you can pay for stuff.
Do you mean pay your Apple Card bill, or buy things with your
Well,
Apple
pay
Card?
for, like apps and stuff you have subscribed to, or
Oh,
to
you
add it.
yeah. To see what you already have subscribed to, is in settings under Apple ID under subscriptions.
Where's Apple ID?
The first listing in settings. Nah, they've renamed it Apple Account. I gotta learn how to. It was Apple ID for 30 years. Now it's Apple Account.
Oh, okay. I can never find it. That's what it is. No, it's not. Okay, here's another question. I have my Paramount Plus account, which I had a discount, and I opened it once and it said like, oh, 2 months at $5.99 or something. I'm like, okay, yeah, I'd like to do that for 2 months. Wait, let me check out and see if well, I left the page to go somewhere else and come back. When I came back, that deal was gone and I can't figure out how to get the deal back.
Clear your cookies, maybe. So they know you already were on that website, so they didn't show you the deal again.
So clear all your cookies or just for that website?
It depends on what website you got the deal from.
So it could have been Paramount, it could have been Apple, right?
Yeah, Apple has a bundle with Apple TV and Paramount Plus. Let's
Yeah,
see.
I don't have that. I just had plain Paramount for like 99 cents or something. And then they gave me a good deal to renew for like $5.99. And I use it a lot. So I'm like, yeah, okay. I don't want to pay $14, but I'll pay $5.99 for a couple months. But
Yeah, sometimes you can do a Google search for um, retail sale or coupon code for whatever service you're interested in.
yeah, I didn't see another one when I looked, but this was different. This was like one of those, I think it was like one of those when you resubscribe, you get a deal.
Yeah,
I think that's what it was. Can't guarantee it.
and
But
it's deals tend to change all the time too. Here I'm seeing one last year that was 15 months for 99 cents a month.
15 months for 99 cents a month?
Yeah, and
That's great.
that was in January, probably New Year's sale.
What is it? Oh, it's June now. Doesn't quite count, does it?
Nope.
So,
So there are different coupon codes. Um, was it Retail Me Not is one website that I have used. Actually, I should be showing this on this screen, shouldn't I?
which
Um,
one?
Retail Me Not,
Oh, yeah.
and let me share screen.
I didn't even realize I wasn't getting it on the earphones until just now. What was another one? You tell me not.
So Paramount Plus. So 50% off subscription. So one of the problems is a lot of times you got to go through a whole bunch of codes until you find one that actually works.
Yeah, when you're doing it through those places.
Yep.
Yeah. You gotta like go through Paramount.
Yep.
And see, that's the thing. I think when I leave, I might get a deal, but then I have to leave.
Let's see. Discount codes. What was the Capital One has their Honey and Rakuten. Well, Rakuten is more for finding discounts on products you buy, and Capital One Shopping. Oh, they've renamed Rakuten to Capital One Shopping.
Uh,
So if you're
I
on,
used.
if you're on a website going to buy something, there's a Rakuten button that will tell you if they found it cheaper or have coupon codes that also work.
Huh.
Now here they say they verify their codes monthly. Simplycodes.com. Let's search.
Simply codes. Yeah, Rakuten used to be something else. Ebates.
Yeah.
Did you say
Paramount
simply
Plus.
codes?
Yep.
Okay,
Paramount Plus 20% off code.
that's not enough.
One free month.
Yeah, that's
$8.99 a month rather
getting
than
closer.
the 14. Yeah.
What's that at? The 8.99.
Let's see.
Oops.
Oh, it's a click-through link.
Uh,
So if you click on the get code, it sends you to Paramount Plus to sign up, including the code in the URL.
yeah, I have a hard time getting those other ones to work.
Yeah, I also run into the problem where it almost never accepts the code. And
Yeah.
companies change their codes so much that, when did it work last time?
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I pretty much just use them when they come from the company
Yep.
because I know
Yeah.
they'll work and they're legitimate.
Yeah, Honey is another one. Oh, that's right. Honey's from PayPal now.
Honey's PayPal. Well, it's probably safe.
And yeah. Well, there's an interesting story that I saw. Marquez Brownlee did one about it. Honey goes to companies and says, pay us money and we will direct people to your site. And then they go to people and say, go to this site and save money. And so they're keeping the money in the middle, and they're costing the other websites more than they're gaining in adding new customers. So it's good for you, but not necessarily for the company. So people don't necessarily care. It's because if the coupon is good for you, but if you're a business and try to put on a coupon, now I know Dorinda has tried doing Groupons for her salon, and it almost always costs her money. The idea is that it brings in new customers who come back and then pay full price, and it almost never does. Because the people that use Groupon will go to someone else using Groupon and get another discount.
Uh-huh.
So sometimes just Googling Paramount Plus. Yeah, so here's a code for $6.99 a month, or another code for 30% off.
$6.99 a month. That's not bad.
Yep.
Where was that one?
Code show2mo.
Show
You-
to Mo.
You type in the promo code on the sign up page.
Oh, show to Mo. I get it.
Okay, well, I think we spent enough on this. We need to move on.
Alrighty.
Eligible military and students.
Yeah. Alright. So let's move to. Why didn't you? Oh, because I closed it too soon. So WWDC keynote was on Monday. It's going all week. There are a lot of developer sessions being broadcast online that you can watch if you're interested in programming. So one of the things that we started hearing last week is there'll be no new hardware, and that turned out to be true. They only talked about the new OSs. There were no new hardware announcements, not even upcoming hardware announcements. I think after the debacle 2 years ago now, when they announced all of these Siri stuff that never showed and have actually gotten sued for it, that they're going to stop talking about anything that even might be anywhere near coming soon. And so they are rebranding Siri as Siri with AI, and the AI backbone is now going to be built on Google Gemini foundational models. And so the Gemini models are being held by Apple, running on Apple's private cloud compute, or running on your own device. So nothing goes back to Google. They're just using the foundational model in the AI. And that announcement kind of came out a few months ago, and I think it was $1 billion they're going to pay Google. But in the meantime, Google is paying $20 billion to be the default search on your Mac. So Apple is still making out in that deal. Let's see. I'm going to put that somewhere because it's empty. So across all the OSs, OS 27, it will be coming this fall. Developer preview is out now for registered developers, and the public beta will be coming soon. But the general rule of thumb is don't run a beta on your production machine because there's going to be problems. It's going to break. You're going to miss deadlines. So only put it on a spare machine. So the new Siri AI is going to know more about you. So it's going to be able to use natural language, and it's going to be able to search your whole phone or a computer. Come on, go back here, and I have to hit pause. Let me go back to the first slide. So you can do questions like, what was that message that Aga sent me when she talked about a new houseplant? And it looks through all your messages and your emails and finds the thing you were asking about. So it's basically a keyword search of your whole phone. But because it basically is indexing all the data on your phone, it can do these types of searches right on your phone itself without going out to the internet. And it's conversationally aware. So you could then say something like, how often do I have to water it? And it knows the context of it being this calathea plant, and will give you the answer. So that's kind of neat.
Should I interrupt now or wait until later?
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, one of the things I was concerned about was I guess it's a question. If it can search telephone conversations, are those saved on your phone? Entire conversation?
I don't believe it's telephone conversations, but it would be voicemails because those are saved on your phone.
Voicemails. Okay. So it would be a voicemail. Because I had gotten the impression that it was talking about like you had a conversation with someone about it on your phone.
Using messages and email.
Okay. So it has to be something written.
Yeah.
Okay.
Unless you turn on voice recording, and then that voice recording is saved. They've basically added the Siri AI to pretty much every to every Apple product. So that was one thing I just was hearing about Microsoft Copilot. They have like 80 different things that say Copilot because every program is Excel plus Copilot, Word plus Copilot, Bing plus Copilot. So they've put plus Copilot on all of their products, where Apple is just saying they're adding Apple Intelligence into the all products. So now your stuff also has Apple Intelligence. Contextual awareness that they're calling visual intelligence. So this is a lot like Google Lens, where you can either grab a section of a screen or an entire screenshot, and it will tell you what that is. And if it's a food, it tries to give you nutritional information, If it's a plant, it can give you a watering care or what's wrong with it type stuff. If it needs more water or less water. And you can allow apps to oh wait, no, back this. We're still at the overview. The second major thing they talked about is more in safety and new child safety features built into screen time. Right now, you turn screen time on, and you can set a time limit for all apps. This is now going to let you set time limits for individual apps. So say the books app, you want them to be able to read the textbook longer than you want them to be able to watch YouTube. And so you can set it up on the kid's phone and then manage it on the parent's phone. And they're making liquid glass more customizable. They said some people like it really transparent. Some people like it not transparent at all. And I'm thinking, yeah, most people probably are not transparent. And so you'll be able to do those settings now. And a lot of what Siri was supposed to do, is so WWDC 2024. They talked about all these new Siri things, and said the same thing. Siri AI is coming in English later this year. And then 24 ended and 25 came along. We expected something at WWDC 25, nothing. Then 2025 ended, and now 2026 they're saying, yep, it's coming later this year. So it will come in OS 27, which is due out this fall. And so they must be really, really confident that they're going to be able to do something by this fall. And one of the goals is to be able to ask natural language questions and have it search in that context. So everyone said, well, where was that restaurant that Joe talked about, 2 months ago? It can find it in your messages. Or show me the photos when I went to Spain. So you can do that now in your phone. You can go into location, and then you can go to Spain and pick, and it will show you those photos. But it's nice to be able to actually ask that question and have it do it for you. And so there's a lot of new, a lot of commands you'll be able to do. So it's basically a huge expansion onto the voice control that the Apple has had for a very long time now, and being able to more understand what you're actually saying and be able to do it instead of Siri now either saying I don't know or here's what I found on the web. It was like, just do it, And if you ask a question it can't answer on its local device, then it can go out to Apple's private cloud compute and expand on the answer there. And they made a big deal about the private cloud is only run on Apple devices. It's in Apple owned data centers, and no one else can get to that data. And so, in order to help do that more, they've actually added a Siri app where you can go in and do more things rather than just clicking on the Siri button to activate Siri. You can now have an app that has your conversations and that will sync across your devices, so you can start on your phone when you're on the way home. Hey Siri. I'm sorry if I triggered anyone. Hey, I triggered myself. Hey Shlomo. What was that restaurant we went to last week that had the really good steak? And then it will find it.
What kind of businesses are you looking for?
Yeah, so my phone just asked me what businesses I'm looking for. I said steak. You should know that. So no more getting angry at Siri. It will know all these things. The visual intelligence, being able to look at pictures and figure out what it is based on the content. especially being able to do food. So all those years of everyone uploading pictures of their food is now helping. It actually had a purpose back then. You can do customized Siri voices. They've made the Siri voice more natural sounding already, and so you can customize more voices. I think I forget which update it was, but they changed it from male one and female one, and then before that it was American one and British one and Australian one. So now it just says voice 1, voice 2, voice 3. So you'll be able to customize how you want your assistant. So this is basically going back to Scully's personal assistant and your knowledge navigator that we've been waiting for 40 years. So you can have a posh British accent on Siri doing your bidding. You can give Siri a couple of ideas, and it can generate drafts. And so you can describe in your words, and it can write for you. There's a lot of controversy about this. Apple had a TV commercial that showed a slacker at an office who he was basically screwing around at work all day, and then his boss walked by and said, I need that report on my desk. And then so the guy turned on Siri and said, generate a report based on this and this and this and this, and he got a report done and handed it to the boss. And people were saying, well, all right, so I can use Siri to screw off at work now? And then the irony was the boss looked at this big, long report and asked Siri to summarize it for him. So you start with a summary, you get a big report. And you start with a report and get a summary. All right, let's go down the next place. So Apple's intelligence is going to be accessible in all of Apple's apps. And photo editing, they've added more options. So cleanup, where you could take somebody out of the background that you didn't want them in. They've added a really cool new feature called reframing, so that say you took a picture of someone in front of a rose wall, but they were too far away. So you can reframe it and move the person closer to the wall, rather than trying to edit them out and move them in manually and then fill in the roses that got covered and uncovered. So it can do all that for you now. So they're adding more commonly used features that people want, regular people would want, rather than needing to go all the way to Photoshop. They've upgraded Image Playground, which was interesting. So Image Playground was one of those tools that we don't think anyone was really using, because it wasn't very useful. Give me a mountain with a woman in front of it. They added photorealistic settings. So before you couldn't do photorealistic, and now you can. And so that was a big deal in having the Image Playground, adding that extra photorealistic stuff to be able to describe what a type of image you want. And we're a little worried that they went through stock images and to build these sets. So you can go to a stock image place like Pond 5 or Getty Images and ask for a picture of a humpback whale breaching, and then it will tell you how much you have to pay to use it. So if you ask Image Playground to do it, does it create that? Especially, there were a lot of problems with ChatGPT where you could say, paint me a sunflower in the style of Van Gogh, and because it had sucked in all of Van Gogh's work, it could do one that looked like Van Gogh. So there's been a lot of worry about copyright and a lot of copyright claims. Let's see, Siri tabs can be automatically grouped. So this one's for Charlie when he listens to it. They're talking about having 10 Chrome windows open and each window has 20 tabs in it. I tend to make my tabs grouped manually. New windows for different topics and tabs in the window for things on that topic. But with Apple Intelligence, it can figure out what that website is for and organize your tabs automatically for you. which is handy. And then passwords. A lot of people, um, the Apple Password Manager will tell you if you have a compromised password, but you have to go in one at a time and upgrade, replace that password with a new one. So now Apple Intelligence will let you say fix all, and it will log into every site it can and find the change password command and update the password for you. So some people look at my I'll look at my password manager. Let's see, and there's like 800 compromised passwords because I have a lot of customer passwords saved as well. And no one wants to go through and change 800 passwords, so they just ignore it. Although it's very important to update your passwords, especially on sites that have money behind them, like banking websites and shopping websites. You might have your credit card on, because you don't want that password to show up somewhere else. But I just got notice from Have I Been Pwned that my Spectrum account was password. Spectrum lost like 50 million accounts with usernames and passwords. So if that was the same password you use on other websites, then you'll be screwed. So you want to make sure every website has a different password. Let's see. So this one I wasn't quite understanding. When we get closer to the actual release and people using it, we'll learn more about these things. So if you send send a message to your wife or your spouse that we're out of garlic, do you want to grab some? You can have it added to reminders or added to notes. So I have a grocery list note that I use, and surely it sends me stuff for the grocery list. And it never fails, but I'm in the checkout line and there's a bing and something new got added, and too late, I'm already checking out. Or I'm on the way to the car. If you're on a phone call, this was pretty interesting. You're on a phone call, say you're booking an air flight. The phone, it can look in, say, your email to find your flight reservation and show that information to you on the phone. Or you're calling, you get an email about your order didn't go through. So you call that company, and it shows you the order form on your phone screen, so you don't have to keep two windows open, showing the information you're calling about. And then you can make your own shortcuts. So one of the shortcuts I have, people send me pictures of their first flights on their new planes, and I put it on the website, but I have to resize it so they're not too big for the website. So I made a shortcut that opens preview and exports it at 750 pixels. So it changes the size of the image and saves it. So that's 4 or 5 steps that I have to do every single time someone sends me a picture. Well, someone send me 50 pictures from the picnic. I don't want to do that 50 times, so I made a shortcut. But making shortcuts can be a little tricky. So now Apple Intelligence, you just describe a shortcut and it will build it for you. For example, when I'm leaving work, message Pedro that I'm on my way and give an ETA. So it looks at your location, where I am. It sees when you leave the location named work. It sends a message to a contact named Pedro. And if you've ever used in Maps, you can share an ETA. One of the options when you're in Map doing turn-by-turn directions, if you swipe up, there's a button that says Share ETA. So you can share an ETA to whoever you're going to see, and so they get an idea of when you're going to show up. And if there's a delay, you run into traffic or something, or you stop for gas, it updates your ETA with the other end. So that's kind of handy. So this shortcut uses the Automator tools to automatically do things that you do frequently, which is neat. And then a lot of things about child safety and a lot of some of this is already built in, and they're expanding on it. When you set up a phone, or actually now a computer too, you may have noticed this, it asks you the age range of the person using that device, because we're all expecting now age verification being required for every website you go to and every app you download. Was it Missouri or Michigan? One of the states already passed a law saying they had to do that. So a bunch of companies have left the state because they can't. There's no safe way to do age verification. I have to either provide personal identifying information, or well, that's basically it. You have to send them your driver's license, or what they have you do is they hold your phone, your driver's license, and your phone up to your face, so they can see the license and the picture are the same person, and you have to move so that it's not just a picture. Because some enterprising kids in the UK put a really restrictive age restriction law. They were able to find out that you can hold a picture of an adult up to the phone, and the age verification software accepts that as being an adult. And so a couple, I think it was California, that said all operating systems must have age verification built in. And so Microsoft and Apple are already doing it, and people running Linux said, what? And then Google iPhones are already doing it too. They're not doing exact ages. They're doing an age range. So someone below 13, 13 to 17, and then 18 and above. So which is less identifying than giving an exact range. And it lets the parent, in setting up a kid's phone, my child is very mature. Even though they're 11, I'll say they're 15. Or my child is an airhead, so even though they're 15, I'm going to say they're 9. You can choose what websites they're allowed to go to, and they can ask for additional sites when they come up. You can choose audio and video chatting in FaceTime and telephone as to what contacts they're allowed to connect to. You can set timing for how long they're allowed to use certain apps. Now, sometimes it's funny. Screen time is a service that's built in and already running, and so this is expanding on that. But if you go into settings on your device and look at your screen time settings yourself, you can be shocked on what app you use the most without realizing you were doing it. Let me go into screen time on my phone. My iPad is the bigger thing. So I use my phone an average of 3 hours a day. And Google Meet is the most used app. And so they're also breaking it down. Instead of by app, you can do it by app type. So you can say they get an hour of games, they get half an hour of social media, rather than having to mark in each individual app one at a time. And as a parent, you get more control over those options for your child. A lot of little improvements. As I said, the design improvement, so you can control how much transparency there is. You can already do that now a little bit in settings. There's a tinted background or a transparent background. They are making apps faster to launch. So a lot of people are talking that OS 27 is kind of like Snow Leopard, which was an enhancement to Leopard. Didn't add a lot of new features, but enhanced all the ones that were there, which is nice. They talk about adding more layers to the icon, so the icons can load faster and they look more 3D, which is kind of neat. You have the option of showing when you have sent messages. If you're in a low bandwidth situation, say you're on cellular out and about, you can say wait until I get to high bandwidth. and switching between cellular and Wi-Fi, or switching between Wi-Fis in your house, is also supposed to be smoother and not drop as many connections. Let's see. More iCloud shared albums. You can now invite your Android and Windows users to share a photo album, and they can contribute to those photos. So if everybody goes to the same event, everyone can post their own photos of that event. You can also make it read only if you don't want them to add pictures. Flyovers in more cities, so more aerial. Custom EQs. If you're using smart home, Apple Intelligence can more accurately understand what you're asking it to do. Turn on all the lights in the family room, and it can. Or after you go to bed and you don't remember if you turned off the lights, you can tell Apple Home to turn off all the lights. The Apple Watch, which already had cycle tracking, can now detect perimenopause and menopause symptoms. So you can ask your doctor when you get that far. Did anyone watch Your Friends and Neighbors on Apple TV Plus? I love the problem where the one wife started into perimenopause and didn't realize what was going on, just her body was not working right. And I don't know what's happening. There's a scene where she woke up, the bed is drenched in sweat, and so she changes the sheet, takes a shower, puts on clean pajamas, goes back to bed, wakes up, and it's drenched in sweat again. If you take panoramas with your phone, you can turn them into a spatial scene and see that as a 3D spatial image in your Apple Vision. So they're trying to add more features to Apple Vision. Apple Vision Pro. I keep expecting a lower end, cheaper model called just the Apple Vision, not the Apple Vision Pro.
Yeah, we're waiting for that.
Yeah, $35 is too much. And the whole front screen with the eyes on it that look really weird, take that off. That's probably $1,000. If you can get it down to $1,000, like the high-end Metas, that might work out good. If you're a developer, there's a lot more available in the SDK, the software development kit. And the one thing they did talk about in macOS, I can't click buttons in that window. They have a name for it now. macOS 27 Golden Gate. Craig Federighi makes his big joke about the crack naming convention and what are we going to name the OS this year. So it's macOS 27 Golden Gate. Now the other OSs, they don't have names. They have internal code names, but they never got made public. But all of the same features are coming to all of the OSs. And with the enhanced Siri AI, enhancing all of the products. So the keynote this year was kind of dry, because it was all just software features, no new cool hardware features. But it is available on YouTube and on Apple TV. At Apple TV, it's in the movies section. It used to be under podcasts, and I couldn't find it. And then found it under movies. So that's all this Siri stuff. So as the OS gets released, or actually as the public betas come out, we'll start hearing more and more about the features that it can do. Likely will be released in September, because that's when the new iPhone is likely coming out, and that fits their pattern. Although this year the interesting pattern is they're going to come out with iPhone 18 now, and iPhone 18 Pro in the spring, so they can kind of spread out those launches, because the iPhone Fold or iPhone Ultra is the new rumored name, is going to come out this fall. Because we have the Watch Ultra, we have the M5 Ultra chips. There's rumors about a new 16-inch MacBook Pro with the M5 Ultra and an OLED touchscreen and all sorts of amazing new things to be called the MacBook Ultra. So beyond the Pro. So then what happens when we get beyond Ultra? Who knows?
Super ultra.
Yeah.
I
So
noticed they were bringing some older iPhones.
Oh,
Be
yeah.
able to use 2027.
That should be down at the bottom here. So let's go to phone. So especially on older phones, they have done some extra engineering so that it will work with the iPhone 11 and actually the iPhone SE second generation and later. And so people that have an iPhone 11, which is 6 generations old, are still going to be supported for at least another year. So that also means tech support and possibly parts are going to be available for at least another year.
Yay, I have an 11.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
Better
it's really-
upgrade. It's on my Christmas list.
It's a bit. I think the basic thing they said on the iOS is any model that supports iOS 26 will also do 27. Now on the Mac, it's a different story. All Intel machines are now no longer supported. It must be Apple Silicon. So that has upset some people because in 2020, early 2020, there was an Intel Macs released, and then late 2020 is when the Apple Silicon came out. And people were even talking about the Mac Pro that was updated in 2019. Kind of a why, because the Apple Pro with Apple Silicon came out. Well, so the Mac Pro with Intel came out in 2019, and then Apple Silicon came out in 2020. But the Mac Pro with Apple Silicon didn't come out until 23. So it took them 4 more years to get a Mac Pro with Apple Silicon, which is a little crazy. But all Intel machines are now no longer supported for 27. And there are also rumors isn't quite the right word, but there are reports that Rosetta is going away. So I should probably show this. If you have, and you may have already been getting warnings about Intel only apps will no longer be supported. And you can tell if you have an Intel app. If you go to the Apple menu and hold down About This Mac, hold down the Option key, the About This Mac turns into System Information. And System Information tells you all this stuff, deep about the OS. And there is a section down under Software for Applications. And this will look at your applications and see if you have any Intel applications left. So I'm going to scroll that down. And under Kind, I have some. So I have a couple of really old applications on here, 32-bit unsupported. So I have a lot of unsupported apps already on the computer. So these are 32-bit Intel apps. I got to go through and clean out a lot of these old. So a lot of these migrated from previous computers. Then I have some Apple Silicon apps, and then there's still a lot of Intel apps on this computer because I have everything I've installed and updated and played with and never uninstalled are showing up. So if you find an app you use a lot on the Intel list, then you need to go to that company to see if they have an update to Apple Silicon. If you still have an Intel Mac, it doesn't matter, because the Intel will still work. But this one has this has a lot of Intel apps, and then there's apps that it doesn't know. Some of them are web apps, and then there are universal apps that run on Intel or Apple Silicon. The other thing that is ending in Golden Gate, forgot the name there for a second, is Time Capsule. Let me get to that. And I am going to present something else. And I am going to present System Settings. Under General, under Time Machine, since I still use a time capsule, you've already been getting a message in OS 26 that the next major version of macOS will no longer support the time capsule. Time capsule uses a file sharing protocol called SMB, and it only runs with SMB version 1, which is like 40 years old. And SMB1 and SMB2 are both been deprecated and are buggy, and there's vulnerabilities for it. So the Mac now uses SMB3 as the current file sharing protocol. But if you have a time capsule, it will stop working in OS 27. If you're not running OS 27, it will keep working just fine. So what we have been doing at our store, is we have another network drive. So the nice thing about the time capsule is it's a network storage drive. So if you have a laptop, you can back up to your time capsule without needing to plug in a wire. So if you have a desktop, it's easy enough to plug in an external hard drive. But with laptops, you have to remember to plug in the hard drive. So we always used to say, if you rubber band your backup hard drive cable to your power cable, when you plug it in to charge, plug it in to backup. But we have started stocking another network attached storage drive from a company called Buffalo, which are actually in Buffalo, Michigan. It's like $239 for a 2 terabyte drive, so it'll handle 2, maybe 3 computers depending on how much data you have. And it is a network backup, so same thing now on your laptops. It can back up wirelessly and not need to plug in, so that you can maintain your backup no matter where you are in the house. We've had so many people that bring in dead computers and their backup is 6 months old because they forgot to plug it in. Let me see what the Learn More here does. Oh, it opens up a new window. So let me switch to that window. Let's see. Can I say, nope, I want to say present something else. And I'm going to do this window. So you can back up to any drive you physically connect to your computer. If you have like an iMac that doesn't move around, and you can put a big hard drive on it and share that hard drive to the network, so then your other computers can back up through that computer. And it does work with Catalina, but that's not recommended because it only supports the older SMB again. So it likes Ventura version 13 or higher to turn file sharing on so that you can share to network drives. You can get a network attached storage drive from another company. Synology is kind of the king of NAS drives, but they're very expensive, and they do a lot more than just backup. They can actually be a media server. They can be a web server. They can do all sorts of different server stuff. So that's why they're a lot more expensive. But a network, the Buffalo drive we have, the 2 terabyte is I think $239, and the 4 terabyte is $269, which is ridiculous. That most of the price is the enclosure. Doubling your storage capacity was only $30 more. And then the Airport Extreme or time capsules that will no longer be supported in OS 27 and later. So you want to have at least one backup device, if not more. So the odds of your computer dying are 100%. It will eventually die, usually at the most inopportune moment. So you want to have a backup copy. The odds of your main drive and your backup drive both dying at the same time are low, but not zero. So some people will have rotating backups, have 2 or 3 backup drives, or have a local drive and a network drive. Especially if you run a small business or have a home business, you never want to lose like your QuickBooks software data file. So being able to make sure that's backed up continuously, so you don't lose all that, is really important. Jackie lost our data once, and now she's got 2 backups herself. I do a backup for her, and we have 3 time capsules it's stored on. So we're going to have to update that too. So we have 5 backups, 2 in the cloud. The cloud backup is good in case of fire or flood or theft, but you don't want to be your only backup. We had a customer that had Carbonite. It took 11 days to restore all of their data, to download 400 gigabytes that they had backed up in Carbonite. It would have taken about 5 hours if they'd have done it on a regular hard drive. Alrighty, any questions I can try to answer on OS 27? As I said, we'll know a lot more likely in September when it's actually released. Shirley, you may want to turn the kitchen light on because we can barely see your face.
Okay.
And we can see the iPad reflected in your glasses, so that's...
It looked like you were in a movie theater.
Yeah, it does. You can see the movie screen. I read the stupidest story. So there's a website called notalwaysright.com where people post stories about stupid customers and their unrealistic expectations. One guy complained at a movie theater that someone was shining a flashlight in his face. Well, that's a pretty serious complaint at a movie theater. It turns out when he stood up when the movie ended, but like going through the credits at the end, he stood up and turned around and the projector was shining at the screen still. And he was complaining about the flashlight shining in his face. Well, don't get up until the movie's over. Those 2,000 people put a lot of hard work in making that movie. You should at least read their names.
He's annoying.
Yep.
You should go to the Movie Idiot Hall of Fame.
Yeah. Every time some of the harder comic book movies like Deadpool or Watchmen, they're definitely rated R. Watchmen, there's a big blue guy who's naked through 90% of the movie, including the big blue guy. But it's a cartoon, so it should be safe for kids. And there are all kinds of stories about people taking parents into superhero Deadpool movies and Watchmen and things like that. And what was the other one? Sin City. The title is Sin City. You think that's okay for kids? No. People abjugating their parental ability.
My friend used to bring her son to movies all the time, like when he was younger, and he'd sit there quietly at the cinema through 2 movies.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't have kids. I didn't really think about it a lot, but it was like amazing to me that he could sit there quietly through 2 movies that he probably wasn't really getting anyway.
We did that. Yeah, we did that with Matthew when he was still a baby in a carrier, and as long as he was quiet. In fact, we had several people when we got up to leave and pick up the baby carrier goes, "Oh my God, I didn't know there was a baby here." But when he started getting too mobile and too rambunctious, we had to stop.
Yeah, gotta do it.
Yep. The Alaskan Apple Users Group meeting is tonight at 10 o'clock, and I have pinned the Zoom address in the meeting notes. So if you want to go to that and listen to David talk, Let me get back to my computer here. I'll probably do that. The order, I should look here. The order for the David Pogue books has gone through. Let me see if they've charged the credit card yet. Um, it will. They'll come in time for the picnic, which is next month. We got it. Yeah, picnic is next month at Dave Chamberlain's house. Is Dave still here? Yep, David's still here. Um, bring a swimsuit. Bring a place setting. We're going to have meats and drinks. Bring a dish to pass. Bring a swimsuit. I said that already. So that's next month. Setup is around 4, and we hope to have the food ready by 6. And his house is in Irondequoit.
We'll talk about it at the board.
Yep.
Because we're the only people left as the board, so.
Well, that's interesting. So there's a Simon and Schuster. Oh, this was an adventure. So I sent an email to Dave Pogue, and he sends me to his Simon and Schuster contact, who then sends me a form to fill out to do the bulk book order, and I have to fax it back to them. Not email it back, fax it back. Nobody I knew had a fax machine anymore. Nobody I knew had a telephone line that I could hook a fax machine we have at the office up to. So I ended up going to the UPS store and getting it faxed. So that's going through. But there's a $27 charge pending. And I have to think that 10 books plus shipping is more than $27. But if they're only charging us $27, great.
You'll find out on your credit card.
Yep. So if you don't make the picnic, we'll probably figure out some way to hand them out or meet up somewhere else.
Well, Bob, I was going to ask you, since nobody's here but the board, but how did your green apples go?
It didn't. I was here. And,
Nobody came?
No, nobody came. Nobody sent me any messages. Two people responded saying they couldn't come, but nobody responded saying they were going to come.
Okay, well.
Wendy Smith, I think her name is, and God, who the other person was.
At least they read the email and knew it was happening.
Yeah.
On a different night.
To my old list for green apples, I sent out an email advising that we're going to be, reconstructing it.
Good.
And I included that we won't be around next month. It's 4th of July. Is the first Saturday.
Yeah.
I want a consistency that it'll be the first Saturday each month.
Well, that's okay. I mean, I think we're just glad that you started it again, because everybody did want to go to it. It's just that sometimes in the summer, it's hard because, it's a weekend.
Yeah, it was a real nice day then.
Too many other things happening too. Yep.
Yeah.
I was out of town, so I couldn't go, but still, people will show up.
Yeah. Hope to make it in August. So August, it's going to be August 1st then.
We have a group. We meet every week at the JCC for Community Affairs group, and that's maybe 15, 20 people, and that's pretty consistent. They've been doing it for 40 years there. Our most senior member is Bernie, who's a really sharp guy, and he's going to be 101 in August.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
And, but then the other meeting, we've been pretty consistent having this political chat meeting on Mondays at 4 o'clock. And I'm trying to think what I was going to say. We, the same thing happens. We have nice weather. People will drop off sometimes, but the point that was in my head was a successful meeting. If the only ones there is me and Carol, that's a successful meeting. I don't have any kind of upper or lower, minimum requirement for the meeting. If it's just two of us or three of us, normally we get about 6 to 10 in that meeting, and a lot of it is family. And Carol's got two cousins and so on. But we've been getting other people from other groups joining us recently. If anybody here wants to join, you're welcome to come on Mondays. And just need an email address to send the invite to.
I
Okay.
won't be doing anything in person ever. I can't walk. I can't go in person.
What's your prognosis? Do they expect you to be able to walk in the near future? Or?
No, no. My legs got really weak. The cancer's eating away at the bones and they're breaking a lot. So they say that the chance of walking are slim, so I have to weigh walking and breaking a bone versus not walking and not breaking bones. So
Yeah, I've got arthritis. It's been getting worse, and it really limits my mobility. I can still walk, but it's awkward. I can't walk very long.
Well, you got your walker?
Well, eventually that's a reality probably, but right now I do have a stick, walking stick. It's got a carved turtle at the head of it. Bought it at the casino in Connecticut, or not Connecticut, Connecticut, Foxwoods.
oh, that's nice. Did you
That
say it
helps
had a seal?
Say what?
Did you say it has a seal on the head?
No, a turtle.
Oh. A what?
Carved turtle.
Oh yeah, turtle. Okay. I love turtles and frogs and penguins and seals.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to end because it's 9:03. So anybody want to go jump into Dave Pogue? All right. You said 9 o'clock, right, Steve?
10.
Oh, 10. Okay.
Oh, that's today? Oh,
Yep.
my brain doesn't work very well. I have a hard time remembering things or talking. Oh, I
I'm
didn't
probably
sign.
not going to, but if you give me the URL, I can write it down. Maybe I'll come.
It's pinned in the chat to the top of the chat window. You can copy it from there.
The chat in here?
Yes.
Chat.
The EXQ, is that it?
No, that's the Google Meet. Go to the chat window. In the bottom right corner, there's a kind of a speech bubble.
I don't see the chat window.
In the bottom right,
Oh,
there's 4
I
buttons
see it now.
or 3 buttons. Okay, yeah.
Austin
What's
Apple Group.
Yep.
so that's the Alaskan Apple user group with David Pogue.
Right.
What's the other one?
That's the video mirror plugin for Chrome.
Okay.
So wait, didn't you have to sign up in advance though?
To get the link.
Oh, so
And
you just
so,
gave us the link.
yeah. So they probably wanted an idea of how many people would be showing.
So it's still okay to go.
Yeah. But I would really recommend turning your mic off. In fact, they probably would mute all the people there. They'll probably on larger groups they mute everybody and have you type questions in and then they answer it that way.
Uh-huh. Okay, that's cool.
All right, well then, we'll say goodnight. We'll end the meeting. We'll see everybody next week. And enjoy the talk if you're going to go listen to him talk, and we can maybe talk about that at the meeting and see how he goes as a talker, because that way you'll be able to know how he'll be if he comes to our club. All right.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
When go
Thanks,
USA when
dear.
we play.
Yep.
If what?
The U.S. plays in the World Cup on Friday.
Okay.
The next 3 Fridays we have games.
All
All
right.
right.
I
Yeah,
have nothing to do,
I
so
looked
I'll
that up.
probably attend the meeting.
All right.
Alrighty.
Can you hear me?
Yep.
Good night, everyone.
See you next
Yeah.
I'm
time.
not there.
Bye bye.
See you next week.
Can you? You're leaving. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
It said join again, so I wasn't sure if I was gone or not. Anyway, are you going
I've-
to the meeting tonight?
Oh,
Yeah. I'm gonna go listen to him. He was on Twit last week too. Actually, he's not last week. A couple weeks ago. He was doing the rounds of all of the talk shows and publicity tour for the book. So he's probably tired of answering the same question every time.
What talk shows?
He was on Good Morning America. Let's see. He was on Relay. He was on. What else did they tell me he was on? There were 3 or 4 of them that I heard. All right.
I
Good night.
I even got to
Yep.
watch the French Open final with my favorite player playing to win his first title, and I forgot. I didn't watch it.
Oops.
This is how bad my brain is now. I can't remember anything. So I'll be there if I remember.
Okay. All right.
It's an hour away. Who
All right.
knows?
Yep. All right. Bye bye.
All right. Good night. How'd you get up there? My little guy.